The soldiers themselves, of course, will be the first to feel just how tough these cuts will be. They'll be looking for work in times of great economic difficulty. Daniel Hutchison, himself a former soldier, is helping to get soldiers back to work with his group, the Ohio Combat Veterans. So how tough is it for ex-servicemen and women in Ohio to find jobs?
It's difficult. I think the jobs across the country are, there's a high unemployment rate, and I think for veterans, it's absolutely higher, and I really attribute that to the fact that veterans are unable to describe their job skills in a way that a civilian employer can understand it.
What sort of jobs do they look for and try to get or fail to get? Are they looking in the right areas?
I think a lot of them right now are just trying to take whatever jobs that they can get. Some of these guys, I think, don't know really how to sell themselves to employers. Some guys will come back and they'll be infantrymen, and they think they don't have any job skills at all, but the truth is that they were managers, that they were leaders, that they were trainers, and these are all things that they need to relay to their employers so they can get hired.
Are you finding it that your organisation is helping turn around some of these people's careers and get them work?
I am, absolutely. We're able to help them with the resume, and we're also work a lot with local companies here to be able to get their foot in the door and get hired.
Right, and with these extra cuts, 100,000 or so extra troops, I mean, you're pretty worried by what that'll mean.
I am, and the thing is that our returning facilities right now for our returning veterans are already overwhelmed and inefficient. So by bringing more troops home without increasing the amount of facilities and psychiatrists and transition programs, we are heading for a perfect storm.
Right, and you mentioned psychiatrists. Is there people who have been in the military more likely mentally, do you feel, to suffer things like post-traumatic stress or difficulties returning to civilian life?
Yeah, nobody returns home from the war the same, and I think there's a huge stigma of PTSD in the military. So there are a lot of veterans that are not getting treatment at all, and the ones that do, I feel there's inadequate care. For the second year in a row, we have lost more troops on American soil to suicide than we have lost in Iraq and Afghanistan to combat. Tell
us about your own story, because you were a combat medic in Iraq 5 or so years ago. You returned, to Ohio? What sort of life did you find waiting for you?
I think a lot of people see the parades for the veterans that are coming home, but what they don't see is a week later when that veteran's sitting at home trying to transition back to civilian life. And my transition was tough. I was unable to find a job, and really I was unable to deal with a lot of the things that I've seen in Iraq.
How did you deal with it then? What happened?
In the beginning, I tried to deal with it by myself, and then I tried to use alcohol to mask it. But eventually I got to the point where I broke down and went to our VA medical facility to get help, and I was turned away. I was told that they didn't have any appointments until the next month. And
eventually you did manage to quit alcohol and get some psychiatric therapy, did you, and find work?
I did. I was able to work through some of the things that I've seen in Iraq. I don't drink that much anymore, and I'm on no medications at all. What do you think the government can do, should do? Do you get, for example, with your group, state cash? No, we don't receive any funding from the government. I fund everything myself for right now, and I'm not sure how much longer I'll be able to do that. So we're really hoping to get some people to support us. What can the government do then? Government right now, I just feel that they need to take better care of our returning troops. They need to put better transition programs into place. They need to have better psychological care for our veterans, absolutely. What about if employers are listening and they're in Ohio now? What would you say to them about their possible attitudes towards former servicemen and women? I'd say that veterans historically have been incredible workers, and that's what we're hearing from a lot of companies. They just don't really know how to get a hold of veterans. But veterans, they know how to show up and work on time. They have a hard work ethic, and they're disciplined. Veterans make absolutely great employees. Former combat medic Daniel Hutchison in Ohio.
11 minutes past 4 GMT. The United States and its allies are pursuing the